Dorothy was a waitress on the promenade. She worked the night shift. Dishwater blonde, tall and fine. She got a lot of chips. Well, earlier I've been talking stuff in a violent room, fighting with lovers past. I needed someone with a quicker wit than mine. Dorothy was fast. Well, I ordered, yeah, let me get a fruit cocktail. I ain't too hungry. Dorothy laughed. She said, sound like a real man to me. You're kinda cute. You wanna take a bath? Do you want a bath? Oh, I said cool. I'm leaving my pants on. Cause I'm kinda going with someone. She said, sound like a real man to me. Mind if I turn on the radio? She said, and it was Joni singing. Help me, I think I'm born. Phone rang and she said, who ever's calling can't be as cute as you. Right then and there I knew I was through. I was gone. She was blind, and fiction brought home by a witch's curse. Dorothy made me laugh. I felt much better, so I went back to the violent room. Let me tell you what I did. I took another bubble bath, my pants on, all the fighting stopped. Next time I do it sooner.
What's happening, everybody? This is Aaron P. We are listening to another episode of Stupid Movie Tuesday, where I watch the movies, sometimes TV shows, which is coming up. And I tell y'all what it's about and what I liked about it, what I disliked about them, and whether or not you should go check it out. So this week is part one of a two-part series. I'm gonna do She's Gotta Have It by Spike Lee. This week we're doing just the TV show. I mean, no. Sorry. This week we're doing the movie. Next week, possibly, depending on, holiday schedules and all that shit. Next week we'll do the TV show. This week though, I'm doing the movie that came out way back in 1986. This movie came out 31 years ago. This was Spike Lee's first movie, and it's in black and white. There's a segment in it that's in color. We'll talk about that in just a second. The movie itself, at this point, had a fairly unknown cast. It starred Tracy Camilla Johns, Tommy Redmond Hicks, John Canada Terrell, and Spike Lee. John Canada Terrell, for those who don't know, he played Flash in the Five Heartbeats movie. So there's that, and we all know who Spike Lee is. Everybody else, I really don't know what else they've played in. Quite honestly, it's. I mean, it was a couple other like notable Easter eggs and stuff in the movie, but for the most part, yeah, it's a pretty unknown cast. The movie itself is about an artist named Nola Darling, who is living in Brooklyn, and she's currently entertaining 3 different men at the same time. I think they all know about it. And they all have 3 different personalities as well. One of them's relationship minded, the other one's vain and into himself, and the other one's just a goofy kind of fun dude, you know. It's a decent movie, shot in black and white. And for lack of a better reason for me saying this, it is a typical Spike Lee movie, whereas it's very trumpet heavy. Like straight up, if you watch any Spike Lee movie that's registered as a Spike Lee joint, there's a lot of goddamn trumpets going on in this shit, and there will be blocks in the movie that are just, you know, music, no dialogue, nothing further in the story along. It's a lot of that going on in this, but at the same time, you know, it's enjoyable. You know what I mean? So she's dating, for lack of a better term, because she doesn't like to use the term dating in this movie. She doesn't like labels, as she says at the beginning of the movie. She doesn't like labels. She doesn't like being called a freak or sex addict or anything like that. And, you know, rightfully so, because, you know, just because you date multiple people don't mean you're a freak. Just because you date and have sex with multiple people doesn't make you a sex addict either. That is something that people just generously lump onto folks, but more times than not, that's not the case. You know, you can control yourself, but at the same time, you just out there living your life the way you want to live it, which is absolutely nothing wrong with that. What did I like about this movie? I did like how, now, and again, this movie came out in 86, so having a movie about a woman who is sleeping with 3 different dudes was pretty much unheard of at that point in time. You can have movies like that about guys, but this is the first time I think like a woman was put in that role, you know, and that stirred a lot of interest in this movie. This movie was made on a shoestring budget. This movie was made on $175,000. It grossed $7 million. You know, so a lot of people got out and supported this. This is like, and this shit was black through and through. I think there might have been like 1 or 2 white people in this movie, if that. But yeah, this movie was done pretty well. It was basically talking about what it's like being a woman in New York, walking down the street. You know, how guys who just say any goddamn thing to somebody, which is prevalent now to this day. It has a lot of slang that I didn't think existed at the time, but then again, you know, I'm just a naive kid. I was 3 when this movie came out, so, well, it's gonna be 3, because my birthday's in December. I'm always gonna be an age. No movie comes out on New Year's Eve, but yeah, so I mean, that's basically the gist of it. She living her life. She's an artist. She has possibly the worst bed ever. When I say this, I mean like this bed is like, it's got a wood bed frame, wood headboard rather, and it's like made into shelves, and she's got all these candles and shit on it, and she's got this like natural afro and shit. I'm watching this movie like, God damn, I hope those candles are fake, because if her hair burns the fuck off, you know, like that's what I was worried about. I'm like, how does somebody sleep on a bed like that without like catching on fire every fucking night? A lot of that is what I was worried about. The sex scenes in this movie are very 1980-esque, you know. And I'm comparing this to the TV show because I actually saw the TV show before I saw the movie. For those who don't know that, and funny thing. This is the third Spike Lee movie I've done on this show. I did his first three in reverse order. I did School Days. I did no. This would be the fourth because I think I did Chirac too. Huh? Or I did that on my other show. Can't remember. But anyway, I did the first three in reverse order. I did School Days. I did Do the Right Thing. Now we're doing She's Gotta Have It. And She's Gotta Have It, out of those first three, She's Gotta Have It is possibly my least favorite. And I'll tell you why. This movie dragged. It did. And I think it's just me just being a product of my time. And I actually watched the TV show before I watched the movie. This movie dragged its ass. Like, the message is there, the, equality and stuff. We all sexual beings. That's fine. That's great. But man, did this movie just drag its ass. Like, I was almost falling asleep at some point during the movie. Now, again, this movie came out 31 years ago. 31 years ago, this is probably the pace that people had moved. In 2017, though, it just doesn't hold up. Which is why I'm glad that they remade, basically, because the show itself, added some things to the movie, and added some things that weren't in the movie. But it's pretty much a faithful adaptation of it, especially like the first couple episodes and a little bit of the last episode. You can see a lot of that because there's a part in the movie where, now again, all three guys know that she's messing around with other dudes. They just don't know who. There's a part in this movie where she invites all three of them over to dinner. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are dating multiple people, don't do that. Just don't. Don't think that this movie is going to give you life advice on how to navigate through your polyamorous relationships and stuff. Now, if it's something that is truly polyamorous, that, everybody knows about everything and stuff, go for it. That should be alright. However, if you just going out, dating other people and stuff, and, people are cool with it and shit, that's great. Don't invite them off over for dinner and hope everything ends up well. That shit might end up very violently. And I'm saying this for both men and women. Don't do that shit. But yeah, this movie, it drug on and on. And it did this one thing that annoys me about a lot of Spike Lee movies, where it'll have like a long musical break that doesn't enhance the story, that doesn't move shit along. It's just there as like fluff to like pad the movie time. And I'm just like, wow, I could really do without this. And that's just me as a writer. It's like, it's a way to cop out of shit. Like, filmmaking and shit, great. It was filmed beautifully, but at the same time, for the fucking storyline, it's just like, And I got a lot to say about that as regard to the TV show coming up. What I take home from this? Well, I mean, y'all talking to a goddamn sex therapist. I find it perfectly normal for people to go out and explore, their sexual boundaries, as long as it's in a fucking safe fucking manner, and you're not hurting nobody. Go out there and do your thing. Be honest. She was straight up and honest about it, which is what I got, which is what I like. So you can choose whether or not you want to stay with a motherfucker like this. What pissed me off, and this says a lot about people when they do hear about shit like this, or they do agree to date somebody who's seeing other people, and they act like they're cool with it, but all three of these guys at some point during this movie tried to lock her down with them and only them. No, that's not the deal. That's not what the fuck we signed up for. Calm that shit the fuck down. You're like, look, you said you was cool with me seeing other people. Don't try to change the game in a nice fucking inning just because, you get a little butthurt that I'm spending my time with somebody else. Like, she's picking up the phone. She's like done fucking people. It's like in the 80s, right? So this movie's set in the 80s. Her phone rings one night and she's like sleeping with one of the guys.